What up, YouTube mofos? Today I'm going to be doing the Denver Broncos rebuild. We're going to trade for Russell Wilson from the Seahawks. I'm going to do the exact trade that they did in real life. They had so many pieces traded that it's going to take at least 3 trades to make it happen. So first we got to get through free agency here. I don't want to bring back Melvin Gordon. I know that he's pretty good in real life, but he's already 29 years old with normal dev, 85 overall. In Madden, he's going to start falling off fast, so I'm definitely not going to try to bring him back. Probably let's try to make this cornerback Bryce Callahan come back here. He wants to go to free agency. All right. Alexander Johnson wants 2 years, 15 mil. I guess we can do that. He doesn't want to come back. He wants to go to free agency. All right. I don't want to bring back Kareem Jackson. He's already 34 years old, normal dev. He's going to start falling off fast. Let's see if we can get Kyle Fuller to come back on a 1-year deal. Everyone wants to go to free agency. All right. Teddy Bridgewater, we definitely don't need him since we're going to be going after Russell Wilson. All right, so this is the first trade. We're trading Noah Fant, our first-round pick for this year, and a first-round pick next year for Russell Wilson. All right, so this is the second part of the trade. We had to give up a second-round pick this year, a second-round pick next year, and a fifth-round pick this year, and get a fourth-round pick from them. All right, for the last part of the trade, we had to send them Drew Lock, quarterback, and also defensive end Shelby Harris. We're getting a 7th-round pick back. That didn't happen in the actual real-life trade, but we had to make the trade happen, so I tried to get back the least amount of thing that I could, so that's it. All right, so the Broncos hired Nathaniel Hackett as their head coach, and he came from Green Bay as offensive coordinator, so I'm going to be running Green Bay's offensive playbook. And on defense, they brought in a guy from the Rams to be their defensive coordinator, so I'm going to run the Rams defense to see if that's going to be similar to what they're doing in real life. Here we are in free agency. We're going to look around and see what type of players we can get to help this team out in the positions that we need. I think that we're good at, obviously, quarterback and running back. I'm going to go with Williams. He's only 22, 81 overall, star dev. So wide receivers, they actually have 3 pretty good receivers, so I don't think we need help there. Tight end, I think I'm going to stick with the guy that they have on the team. I'm not sure how to say his name, Okwujumnubunum. I don't know how to say it, but I'm going to stick with him for 1 season. The offensive line is actually pretty good. They're young, but they all have star dev or better, so besides Glasgow. But I think the offensive line would be okay for now. They can develop slowly. Defensive end, we're good. Defensive tackle, we really need a good defensive tackle here because we're running a 3-4 defense, so we need a big solid dude up front. I think I might try to get this Sebastian Joseph Day and see what happens with that. We really need a lot of help at linebacker. We pretty much have nothing except for Bradley Chubb over here. But middle linebacker, I ended up letting Alexander Johnson go to free agency. I think I tried to sign him, but he decided not to come back. Well, I'm going to try to get Rashaan Evans here. I'm going to try to bring Marcus Williams in to play strong safety for us. So defensive tackle Joseph Day rejected our offer. We got middle linebacker Evans. We got Marcus Williams at safety. We got Van Der Esch at middle linebacker, and we try to get this other outside linebacker that turned our offer down. So we're gonna have to try to make some more moves. All right, so these are the players that I got in free agency. We got a whole bunch of defensive players because we really needed help on defense. I got Akeem Hicks. I'm gonna put him at defensive tackle because he's 6'4", 347 pounds. We need an anchor defensive tackle in this 3-4 defense. I got Marcus Williams. I'm going to move him over to strong safety. Got Rashaan Evans to play middle linebacker along with Leighton Van Der Esch. And I'm going to take D Ford. He's a speed rush and defensive end, but I'm going to move him to outside linebacker to be in our 3-4 defense. All right, so this is what the offensive lineup looks like. Offensive line is young, but they have a lot of potential to develop. We got Cortland Sutton as wide receiver 1. We got Tim Patrick as wide receiver 3. We got Williams starting at running back. We got superstar X Factor Russell Wilson, obviously at quarterback because this is his rebuild. And we got Jerry Jeudy over here at wide receiver 2. On defense, We got a lot of stuff in free agency. We got Marcus Williams as a free safety. I moved Justin Simmons over to strong safety because he fit better in the scheme as a run support safety. We got D4, the outside linebacker. I drafted this guy to develop behind him. We got Evans and Van Der Esch, middle linebacker. We got Chubb over here, outside linebacker. We got Patrick Surtain and Ronald Darby at corners. And then this guy's our third corner. This is what our defensive line looks like. It's alright. Can be better eventually. At the midseason point, we are 3-4. Last in the division. That's definitely not good. See what kind of players we can re-sign over here. Try to bring Bradley Chubb back. He wants 4 years, $34 million. He doesn't want to sign yet. He wants more money. I'm not gonna bring back this offensive lineman because we have some young linemen that have star dev that we can bring up. D4, he was just a 1-year patch, not bringing him back. I'm gonna try to bring back Draymond Jones whenever I can, but I'm not able to at the moment. So at the end of the regular season, we ended up going 8-9, finished last in the division, didn't make the playoffs. This division is extremely competitive. Obviously, we got the Chiefs, the Raiders, the Chargers, and then us. So we had the number 3 ranked offense in the NFL. Russell Wilson had 3rd passing yards. Defense was 22nd, so our defense needs some work. We had the 5th most points scored. Cortland Sutton had 1,400 yards receiving, 4th in the NFL, and we allowed the 27th most points in the NFL. Defense really needs some help. Russell Wilson had 4,800 yards, 34 touchdowns, pretty good. 15 interceptions, not really liking that. Running game, Javonte Williams had 1,000 yards, only 3.8 a carry. I don't like that. I wish he had about 4.5, but he had 9 touchdowns. Mike Boone had 10 touchdowns, and Russell Wilson even had 5 rushing touchdowns himself. Cortland Sutton had 106 catches for 1,400 yards, 8 touchdowns. Jerry Jeudy, 89 catches for 1,200 yards, 11 touchdowns. Tim Patrick had 776 and 5. And the tight end even had over 500 with 4 touchdowns. On defense, Leighton Van Der Esch led the team in tackles. Justin Simmons up here. TFLs, Akeem Hicks had 14 TFLs. Draymond Jones had 10. Sacks, D4 led the team with 8. Bradley Chubb had 7. Akeem Hicks had 5. Draymond Jones 4.5. Yeah, we need to do something about pass rush. Interceptions, we actually had a pretty good amount. Simmons had 5. Surtain had 5. Van Der Esch had 4. Marcus Williams had 3. Darby had 2. Pretty good amount of interceptions. I'm definitely liking that. Looking at the awards here, and Russell Wilson finished 3rd in MVP behind Jalen Hurts with the Eagles, and Patrick Mahomes won it. Russell Wilson was 2nd Offensive Player of the Year. Van Der Esch was 8th in Defensive Player of the Year. No Offensive Rookie of the Year. It's Defensive Rookie of the Year. Nobody on there either. Best quarterback, Russell Wilson 3rd. Best running back, Williams was 8th. Best receiver, Jeudy had finished 3rd, and Sutton was 2nd or 4th. My bad. D4 was 5th, and Van Der Esch was 6th. Chubb was 10th down there. I saw him. Justin Simmons finished 4th, and best DB. So this is what ended up happening in the playoffs over here. The Chiefs and the Raiders played. The Raiders made it to the Super Bowl. The Cowboys and the Falcons played. And so it's the Cowboys and the Raiders in the Super Bowl. That's crazy. Boys ended up winning the Super Bowl. Dak Prescott was MVP of the Super Bowl. And then we had Patrick Mahomes that won MVP. And Myles Garrett won Defensive Player of the Year. Sam Howell with the Saints won Rookie Offensive Player of the Year. And Kayvon Thibodeau with the Lions won Defensive Rookie of the Year. All right, we're here in free agency trying to re-sign our players that are going to free agency. I'm going to try to bring Bradley Chubb back on 3-year deal. He wants a little bit more money. See if he takes this, then cool. If not, then he can go to free agency. Oh, he's going to free agency. All right. Risner, we don't need him. We got other offensive linemen coming up. D4, we don't need him. Draymond Jones, I was going to try to re-sign him, but he looks like he fell down to normal dev. He was star dev. So I think that I'm just going to let everyone else go to free agency. A lot of good young offensive linemen with a lot of development potential. So I'm going to try to trade Graham Glasgow because we're going to save $11 million in cap space. So we can move on from him since he's 31 and he has normal dev. So if we can trade him away, we can free up some cap space and hopefully get a draft pick or something back in return, since we had to trade away all our draft picks to get Russell Wilson. Out to the Jets for a 4th round pick in this coming up draft. That was the highest pick that I could get from them that they were able to agree to. So it's better than just cutting them and getting nothing back in return. We free up that cap space, so good deal. All right, so we're here in free agency, and our defense was terrible this year, so we really need to try to figure out what we can do to make it better. I think that we might need to get Von Miller to play outside linebacker to come back to Denver, because we need to pass rush like hardcore. Pass rush was terrible. We didn't get very many sacks. Bobby Wagner's over here, 87. Well, we're good at middle linebacker, so. But yeah, I think I'm gonna try to get Von Miller here since we need pass rush. 1 year, $18 million. Why not? Let's see what happens with that. And I'm gonna look around and see what other players I can get. All right, I'm gonna try to get Montez Sweat because, like I said, we really need help with pass rush. He's 26 years old, 85 overall or 84 overall, so he wants more money. But I'm gonna make sure that we get the top offer on here, have the best chance to get him. Still second. He wants a little bit more money. That's all right. We'll give it to him. We need this pass rush bad. All right, now we got the top deal, so we'll see how that goes. So it appears that the Seahawks have decided to let Noah Fant go into free agency, and we had traded him earlier in the deal to get Russell Wilson, and we could use help at tight end. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to bring him back to the team over here. 5-year deal, 36 mil. Let's see where that gets us on the offer sheet here. 8th. All right, we need to give him some more money. Well, it's a good thing we traded that offensive lineman to free up some cap space so we can spend it. All right, we got the top deal on here. We'll see how that goes. Also gonna try to bring in Jamel Dean at cornerback because Darby is starting to fall off, and we really need help on defense as much as we can get since our defense was not so great last year. I have to offer him a little bit more money, but that's all right. We still got a little bit of cap space. If you don't use it, you lose it. No, I'm just kidding. You don't lose it, but why not use it if you got it? Well, Montez Sweat rejected our offer, so that's not good. We got Noah Fant at tight end, and we got Von Miller back. So glad that he's coming back to the team, and we did not get Jamel Dean at corner. Montez Sweat rejected our offer. I'm going to try to get Preston Smith and move him to defensive end. And I'm going to try to get Bryce Callahan at corner. Since Jamel Dean turned us down, maybe we can get him for a little bit cheaper here. All right, so Bryce Callahan and Preston Smith both accepted our offer, so at least we got them positions filled. We've seen this in Madden before, but we have a 5th-year option that we can decide if we want to go ahead and use it on Jerry Jeudy or not. Says this time next year he'll be looking for an extension. We could barely get him on the field this year, so I don't think he'll be worth holding on to. What are your thoughts? You think he's part of our long-term plan for the team? Yeah, I think that he is. Absolutely, we definitely need to keep him around. In that case, do you want to go ahead and pick up his 5th-year option? Yes. Easy enough. I'll get the paperwork started. 5th-year option. You picked up Jerry Jeudy's 5th-year option. This will postpone his contract negotiations for 1 year. Well, they must have just implemented this into the update because I've never seen that before. That's pretty cool, though. And why they were trying to say that we could barely get Jerry Jeudy on the field whenever he had 89 catches for 1,200 yards and 11 touchdowns. If that's barely getting him on the field, then they must be thinking that he's going to get 5,000 yards. So free agency recap, we got Von Miller coming back to the Broncos. We got Noah Fant coming back to the Broncos. We got Bryce Callahan. We got this punter, and I got Preston Smith. Are in the draft, and once again, we don't have a 1st-round pick or a 2nd-round pick, so I'm gonna skip ahead to whatever spots that we have our next pick is. So the next pick that we have, or the first pick that we have, is round 3, pick 14. So let's see if we can find us a gem buried down here deep. I'm looking through a whole bunch of guys, and the best guy that I can see on paper is going to be this guy right here, and he's not even that good, obviously, from the looks of it, so I'm going to draft him. He's got normal dev.
Okay, here we go. The Vikings on the clock now.
I'm going to let the computer go ahead and draft the rest of the players. Here in the draft recap, we drafted this defensive tackle, and he's a 62 overall, so that's pretty much a bust. The computer drafted this running back in the 4th round, Devonta Livingston. Nothing special. This middle linebacker, nothing special. Looks like it's pretty much a bunch of nobodies, but this is what happens whenever you trade away all your best picks to get a quarterback. Alright, this is what the starting lineup looks like for the 2nd season. The offensive line they're really young, but they all have a lot of potential to keep getting better and develop. We got Noah Fant coming back at tight end. We got Jerry Jeudy, wide receiver 2. Russell Wilson, he dropped down from superstar X Factor to just superstar, but he's still 87 overall. Williams is getting better at running back. Cortland Sutton's over here, number 1 receiver. And we got Tim Patrick as our 3rd option at receiver. Defense, I feel like we got a little bit better. We got Von Miller back, so hopefully he'll give us some pass rush. We brought Preston Smith in at defensive end. I was trying to get Montez Sweat, but he didn't want to come play for us. So cornerback, brought in Callahan to be our number 2 corner. Simmons over here at 94 safety. We got Nolan Smith starting at outside linebacker. He was behind D Ford last year, so hopefully he can contribute to the team and get us some sacks. So I forgot to look at this earlier, but I wanted to see how much the deal was for the 5th-year option for Jerry Jeudy. And it appears that he's making $4.8 million this season right here, but next season on his option it's going to be $14 million. So I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing. It sounds kind of high to me, but we just wanted to see what would happen with that 5th-year option stuff that came up. I've never seen that before. We are 4-3, currently tied in 2nd with the entire division. They're all 4-3. The Raiders are 6-1. See what type of players we have going into free agency here that we can try to bring back. Von Miller, I'll probably try to bring him back for another year, but right now I'm not going to sign him because by the end of the season his overall is going to go down, so he'll probably be cheaper than $19 million for 1 year. I'm probably going to do the same thing with Russell Wilson also. I'm going to bring him back obviously because this is his rebuild with the Broncos, but I'm going to wait till the end of the year and maybe his offer or his deal will go down. It won't be $33 million. Akeem Hicks, probably the same thing. I might just let him go to free agency since he's getting older, see if we can find someone better. Bryce Callahan, he's older, so probably let him go. Preston Smith, he was a 1-year patch. This cornerback, I'll probably go ahead and try to offer him a deal right now. 2 years, $10 million. He wants some better salary. Alright. Definitely not bringing this guy back. This left guard, I do want to bring him back. Let's go ahead and bring him back on a 5-year deal for the cheapest overall value long term. He's happy to sign and come back to the organization. Season here, we ended up going 10-7, and for whatever reason, we didn't make the playoffs. I don't understand why not, because if we look at the standings over here, go to AFC. Here we are right here with 10-7 record, and they gave the Colts and the Patriots the playoff spot over top of us, even though we are 10-7. They gave the Colts a playoff spot because they won their division. Patriots won their division with 9-8, so that's the reason why they got it over top of us. The Raiders and the Chiefs in our division got it, and we did not get it. So that's just the way that it fell with the standings in each little division. So we ended up having the 16th ranked offense, 5th ranked defense. Looks like our running game was terrible. 13th in points scored and 3rd in points allowed. So for whatever reason, our defense decided to do a lot better this season, but our offense decided to not do so much. Russell Wilson, 4,400, almost 4,500 yards, 29 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. That's not the greatest year ever, but it's definitely not terrible. Javonte Williams must have got hurt. He only played in 11 games, so that's why he only had 640 yards, but his yards per carry was pretty decent with 4.1, but our backups are just not so great at all. Receiving, Jerry Jeudy led the team with 1,294 yards and 9 touchdowns. That's the reason why we did that 50-year option on him. I don't know what the heck the general manager was saying that, oh, we shouldn't bring him back because he was barely on the field at all. Cortland Sutton got 88 catches for 1,150 yards. Tim Patrick had 755 yards. Noah Fant gave us a little more at the tight end spot, 689 yards, 7 touchdowns. See on defense, Leighton Vander Esch led the team in tackles. Von Miller had 92. Rashaan Evans had 88. TFLs, Von Miller had 15 TFLs, 14 for Akeem Hicks, 13 for Preston Smith. Yeah, our defense got a lot better this year with sacks. Von Miller came back, put up 15 sacks. Preston Smith had 12.5. That's really good for the low overall that he is, 80. He gave us 12.5. Akeem Hicks gave us 5. Rashaan Evans gave us 4.5. This guy gave us 4. Defensively, we didn't get as many interceptions as last year, but Justin Simmons still had 3. Vander Esch had 2. Patrick Surtain had 2. So it seems like we get the defense good, the offense doesn't do good. We get the offense good, the defense doesn't good. So Ezekiel Elliott ended up winning MVP, which I highly doubt will happen in real life ever, because he's not nowhere near as good as he used to be. Coach of the year went to Mike McCarthy with the Dallas Cowboys. We don't have anybody for Offensive Player of the Year. Defensive Player of the Year, Von Miller won Defensive Player of the Year for the AFC. There we go. Let's go, baby. Von Miller coming back large. Devontae Livingston won Offensive Rookie of the Year. Defensive Rookie of the Year. We didn't have anybody on that. Best quarterback. Russell Wilson's not even up here. Best running back. Obviously nobody. Best wide receiver. Jerry Jeudy came in 6th. Best O-line. Nobody. Best D-line, we had Preston Smith up here at 6th. Best linebacker, Von Miller won that. The Cowboys made it to 2 Super Bowls in a row, and the Ravens beat them this time. And we already saw who won the awards on the right. Aaron Donald won the Defensive Player of the Year. We are back in free agency. We're going to try to re-sign our own players and bring them back. I'm going to try to get Russell Wilson back on this. I know I can probably get him for like really cheap because he's older. I don't want to go too low and just miss him completely, but let's try this right here and see what he says. Free agency. All right, we'll get him in free agency. So Von Miller, we're going to get him for a little bit cheaper than if we would have signed him before. He wanted like 18.5 mil, and now he only wants 16 mil. So yeah, I'm going to try to bring him back for that. He's coming back for another year. Akeem Hicks, I think I'm going to let him walk and see what other options there are. Same with this guy, this guy. This guy fell down. He was a star dead, but he went to normal, so let me let him walk. This center, same thing. He was star dead, and he went back down to normal. So I think that's all that we're gonna do, and see you in free agency. Looking at the contracts and seeing where I can save some money at, and I'm gonna go ahead and cut Tim Patrick because he's gonna free up $10 million in space. He's only got 1 year left on this deal. He's 30 years old and he's 75 overall, and he's not going to be getting any better at all. So I'm going to go ahead and cut him to free up this $10 million that we can use in free agency on some other players. And I think that's going to be it. Free agency, and it looks like the New York Giants are trying to steal Russell Wilson from us, and we're definitely not going to let that happen. Whatever we need to do to get him to come back, I guess I should have offered him more. So we got the highest deal right there by a lot, apparently. And we'll look around and see what other players I can get to help this team out, try to get us into the playoffs. All right, I'm looking at defensive tackles right here. I'm going to go ahead and try to bring Grover Stewart in to be our new starting defensive tackle. He's a little bit younger and higher overall than Akeem Hicks at this point in their careers. And of course, he wants more money just like everybody else. They want that bag. Still 3rd on here. The Raiders must offer him a truckload, but we really need to get him, because if we let our defense fall off and our offense has a good year, then we won't make the playoffs once again. So I think I'm gonna try to bring in Jadeveon Clowney. He wants 2 years, 20 mil. I think I'll go ahead and offer him that. And then we need We need to start him right in, and he needs to be a run stopper. So we might try to bring in Cameron Jordan for 1 year, or maybe even bring Preston Smith back. No, let's go for Cameron Jordan. I know he's older, but he's still higher overall. So since he's 35, I'm gonna offer him a little less and see if we can get him for that. Do need help at corner. Right now, we only have Patrick Surtain, and the guy that's second on the depth chart is 71 overall. So let's see what Stephon Gilmore's looking like. Still has 89 speed. I think I'm gonna go ahead and try to bring him in. Oh, hold on. We're getting low on cap space here. He's 33 years old. Maybe I can offer him a little cheaper deal. 10 mil for 1 year. And Darius Slay, Marcus Peters, Mike Hughes. He's 27. What is Darius Slay's ratings looking like? He still has 91 speed. Maybe since he's older, we can get him for a little bit cheaper too. And we'll see what players we end up getting in free agency. Everybody accepted our offer, so that's the first time that we had that happen. I don't think that had anybody else that I was negotiating a deal with over here. So let me just double check. Nope. All right. We got another 5th-year option to look at here. So let's see who it's for. It's for Patrick Surtain. He's due for a new contract, and judging by his performance last year, he doesn't deserve one. He barely saw the field. Is this just what they say all the time? We definitely want to let him, or bring him back. He's the best cornerback that we have. In that case, do you want to go ahead and pick up his 5th-year option? Yes, of course. No question. Get the paperwork started, man. See, recap here. I know we got a bunch of older dudes, but we gotta take the best players that we could at what positions that we had that needed replacements, and I ended up bringing in this guy, offensive lineman, because I forgot that we let our center go. I should have just went ahead and re-signed him, but it is what it is at this point. This year we actually have a 1st-round pick, so that's going to be different for this rebuild. I'm curious to see what the Seahawks did with all the picks that they got from us. But obviously they haven't won any Super Bowls because we haven't seen them. But here we are. We got a 1st-round pick. Let's see if we can get us a game changer. Through looking at a bunch of players, this offensive lineman looks like the best player that we have available for us. He has A awareness and B run block. He's 6'6", 341 pounds, and he's 21 years old out of Texas A&M. He has elite change of direction, elite strength. So I'm gonna go ahead and draft him and see. He has hidden dev with 93 strength. That's a great pick. We needed an offensive lineman anyway, so good. Here in the 2nd round, see if we can find us a good value pick here, and I'll let y'all see who I got. I decided that I'm going to draft this wide receiver. He has great acceleration and agility and great speed. He runs a 4.27. He has A juke move, B short route. His release is a D, but I'm going to go ahead and pick him and see. He has normal dev, 93 speed, 93 acceleration, 92 agility, 87 change of direction. Not looking too bad. Here in the 3rd round, looking around, seeing what kind of players I can get. This guy looks like Dwayne Haskins. Gonna go ahead and draft this defensive tackle, and he just has no more dev, so it is what it is. This is what the draft looks like. I drafted this left guard in the 1st round. He's a 72 overall, hidden dev, 21 years old. I drafted this wide receiver. He's a 72 overall, but he just has no more dev. And the computer drafted these guys, but this guy is the only other one that has hidden dev, this right tackle. This is what the lineup's looking like for the 3rd season of the rebuild. The offensive line is starting to get better. They're developing. The tight end Noah Fant is at an 87 overall. We got Jerry Jeudy upgraded to superstar dev, so I made him #1 receiver. Still got Javonte Williams at running back. Russell Wilson is 85 overall star. He's been declining every year. He was an X factor, and then he was just superstar, and now he's just regular star. We got Cortland Sutton at wide receiver 2. Wide receiver that I drafted in the 2nd round is going to be our wide receiver 3. Defense is looking solid. We still got Von Miller here. Linebackers good. Nolan Smith still developing. We got Justin Simmons still superstar. Patrick Surtain down here, cornerback number 1. We got Stephon Gilmore, cornerback number 2. The defensive line is kind of old, but they're still looking like they're going to be able to hold their own. At the midseason point here, we are 3-4, tied for second in the division with the Raiders. The Chiefs are beating us in the division with 6-1 record. The Chargers are 1-6. Not exactly the type of start that we were hoping for in year 3. Justin Simmons wants 3 years, $43 million. He's still a 94 overall superstar. So I'm definitely going to go ahead and re-sign him for the rest of the rebuild. He's coming back. Stephon Gilmore, probably going to wait till the end of the year. Javonte Williams, he's been decent. I guess we can go ahead and re-sign him. He's only 24 years old, 87 overall. We'll go ahead and just bring him back for the rest of the rebuild also. He's coming back. Jerry Jeudy, we're definitely going to bring him back for the rest of the rebuild. Hit him with a 5-year deal, $67 million. Perfect. Can't wait till next year. Von Miller, I'm going to do the same thing as last year. I'll try to bring him back if he doesn't retire. And at the end of the season, after he regresses, probably be able to get him for less than $16 million. And probably the same thing with Russell Wilson. I'm going to wait till the end of the year after he regresses some more and try to get him for a cheaper deal. Grover Stewart, I'll probably try to do the same thing with all these older players. Wait for them to regress. Get them for a cheaper deal. Well, here at the end of the season, we went 8-9 again, and we missed the playoffs again. Definitely not what we were looking for in this rebuild, but maybe the Broncos will make some different moves in the real life and have better luck, because this is not going too well for a video game rebuild right here. Looks like we had the 3rd ranked offense in the NFL. That means our defense probably didn't do good. Yeah, 24th in defense. Man, it's always one or the other. The offense is good or the defense is good, or their offense is bad or the defense is bad. So Russell Wilson had probably his best year yet. 4,800 yards, 40 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Javonte Williams had his best year yet. Offense is out here balling. Cortland Sutton had 1,300 yards, even though he was the number 2 receiver. Jerry Jeudy still had 1,100 yards, 7 touchdowns. Rookie Bryce Charles almost had 1,000 yards, 12 touchdowns. Noah Fant, 817 yards, almost 10 touchdowns. So the offense is doing their thing. Defense, Van Der Esch led the team in tackles with 110. Rashaan Evans had 95. TFLs, Cameron Jordan had 22 TFLs. Jadeveon Clowney had 15. Von Miller had 11. Grover Stewart had 11. Sacks, Cameron Jordan led the team with 16.5. Jadeveon Clowney had 12.5. Von Miller still had 8.5. Nolan Smith even put in 4 on us. Leighton Van Der Esch led the team in interceptions with 3. A few other people had 2. So the Dallas Cowboys have made it to the Super Bowl 3 years in a row in this rebuild. And Jacksonville is in the Super Bowl playing against them. So this is a crazy rebuild here. Looking at the yearly awards, Dak Prescott won MVP. He beat out Patrick Mahomes, and Russell Wilson was 3rd. Coach of the year went to Urban Meyer from the Jaguars. Hell of a coach there. AFC Awards, we have Russell Wilson 2nd Offensive Player of the Year. Defensive Player of the Year, Cameron Jordan came in 3rd. Offensive Rookie, Bryce Charles came in 2nd. Defensive Rookie of the Year, nothing. Best Quarterback, Russell Wilson came in 2nd. Best Running Back, Javonte Williams came in 10th. Best Wide Receiver, let's see, we had, Bryce Charles is up here ahead of Jerry Jeudy and Cortland Sutton, really? Best O-line, we don't have any of the best O-line apparently. Cameron Jordan came in 2nd to Myles Garrett, best defensive lineman, and Jadeveon Clowney came in 7th. Best linebacker, Von Miller came in 7th. Well, the Cowboys won the Super Bowl, so they got Super Bowl win number 7, and they got Jameson Williams as a wide receiver because he won MVP of the Super Bowl. And we saw that Dak Prescott won MVP, Urban Meyer won Coach of the Year, TJ Watt won the Defensive Player of the Year. Looking at players that we can re-sign to bring back before free agency starts. I think I'm going to let Gilmore walk. I'm going to bring Von Miller back for another year because this is his team, the Broncos. He would like to play for a new team, okay. Russell Wilson, he wants $31 million for 1 year. I mean, we're going to have to bring him back, so let's see. Enjoy playing for you, but on test free agency. All right, we'll make it hard then. Defensive tackle Grover Stewart. I think I'm gonna see if there's any better players available with a lot of these guys. Probably bring back this right guard right here on a 5-year deal. He's coming back. Now time to get a new kicker. The rest of these guys, probably just gonna let them all walk. We got a lot of cap space, but hopefully we can get some good upgrades. Here in free agency, looking to see what positions we can upgrade. Definitely got to bring Russell Wilson back. I'm gonna offer him this. I'm gonna offer him a little bit cheaper deal actually, since he's a little older. Maybe other teams aren't as interested in him. Running back, we're still good at running back. Wide receiver, we could get DeAndre Hopkins. Well, we don't need him though. Amari Cooper's here. Tight end, we don't need tight end. We're good there. Left tackle, we have no players at this position. Thinking about, well, our defense was trash, so let's look at the defense first and see. We still got Jadeveon Clowney. Defensive tackle, it looks like we're gonna have to bring Grover Stewart back probably. Ooh, Aaron Donald's here. Hold the phone. Definitely gonna offer him a deal right now. 1 year, 20 mil. Where does that put us? Second. All right, let's raise it up. Definitely need to get this guy. Game changer. Still second to the Raiders. All right, so let's raise it up a lot. Now we're in first on that. Gonna go ahead and try to bring Grover Stewart back for 1 year. Looks like our offer is pretty competitive. Definitely gonna put an offer in to try to get Von Miller to come back and retire with the team whenever he decides to call it quits. Looking at the available corners, I think I'm gonna offer Xavier Howard a deal. Just give him what he wants to try to get him. And then we still need another corner. Maybe we should kill Griffin. Yeah, I think I'm gonna just offer Shaquille Griffin a deal. Second, we need to give him a little bit more cash. He wants a little bit more of that cheddar, some of them chickens. Looking at middle linebacker, it looks like the best option we have available is Leighton Vander Esch. Either him or Jamin Davis. Jamin Davis is a little bit cheaper, and he's younger. But I don't know if he can tackle as good. He has 89 tackle and 90 speed. Vander Esch has 86 speed and 86 tackle. Let's just try to get Jamin Davis then. Switch it up a little bit. Throwing him offer here. See where we stand. We're in 20th. Dang, how many people are offering this guy a deal? Alright, well, let's jack this up a ton over here. That put us in first by a mile. Alright. So we need a left tackle. I'm thinking about bringing Zach Martin in for 1 year and moving him to left tackle because he has the ability to do pretty much whatever the heck he wants. Oh crap, he wants a lot of money though. Well, maybe not because we can't afford him. Let's see. Well, it looks like we might have to go. This guy wants. We're not gonna be able to afford him either. We might have to just bring Garrett Bowles back. That's all we can afford. I don't like that number. Let's lower it down some. Try that and see how it goes. Alright. So it looks like everybody accepted the deals that we offered except for the main one that I wanted, Aaron Donald. He rejected us, man. That could have been a game changer. Well, we're gonna have to figure out what we're gonna do on the defensive line now. I guess I'm just gonna go ahead and bring Cameron Jordan back for 1 more year. He only wants 9 mil. I could try to get Cameron Hayward, but he's a year, or they're the same age. I'm just gonna try to get Cameron Jordan. Offer him this deal. So Cameron Jordan accepted our offer, and we got everything we need in free agency.
They're on the clock.
Here we are in the draft, and I believe that we do have a first round pick this time once again, and a second round pick. So I'm going to skip ahead to my next user pick, and we have pick number 11.
It's the Broncos on the clock.
Let's see what we got available here. Hopefully, we should be able to get a pretty good player with pick 11. Our defensive line is like pretty old, so let me check this guy out. This guy has A in everything. A block shut-in, A tackle, A power moves. He's looking legit. I might draft him. He's definitely high up on the board at this second. So I looked around at quite a few players and I decided that I'm gonna draft this right end, Landon Harrell. He has A block shut-in, B finesse moves, A power moves, A tackle. His college pro day is not looking like the greatest ever, but he looks like he's a pretty good player all around. So I'm gonna draft him. I hope he's a hidden dev, and he's normal dev, of course.
The Panthers on the clock now.
Here in the second round, looking around, trying to see what availabilities we have here. Maybe we can get a game changer. Maybe we cannot. This guy looks pretty good right here. I'm gonna go ahead and draft him. And he has hidden dev.
It's the Panthers now on the clock.
So here's the draft recap. I drafted Landon Harrell, this defensive end, in the first round. He's a 74 overall, and he's 22 years old, but he only has normal dev. I drafted Daryl Callahan, this right guard, in the second round, and he has hidden dev, 21 years old, 70 overall. The computer drafted the rest of these guys. They drafted this right tackle, Russell McBride, and he has hidden dev. And it seems like every year the computer always finds some low overall hidden dev guy over here. So this game has disconnected me and kicked me out twice, at least twice, every single season. And this is the 4th season, so that's at least 8 times that I've been kicked out trying to record this video. But anyways, so here's what the lineup looks like for the 4th season and probably the final season, the rebuild, because I typically do 4 years. The offensive line keeps developing and getting better. This guy right here just is getting older, so he's starting to go down. But Noah Fant is at 89 overall tight end. We got Cortland Sutton at wide receiver 2. Russell Wilson is still 84 overall. I think he's 36 years old, maybe 36 years old. Javonte Williams is at 88. Jerry Jeudy is at 89 overall, superstar. Bryce Charles, he won offensive rookie of the year in the AFC, but he didn't get a upgraded development trait. I thought he would probably get to a star, but no. Defense, we brought in Davis at middle linebacker to replace Van Der Esch. We still got Von Miller, trying to keep him until he retires. Justin Simmons is still a really strong 92 overall superstar. The D-line has been really not so great. They have like decent overalls, but they're typically older guys. So Patrick Surtain's at 88 overall superstar, and we got Griffin at cornerback number 2. Here at the midseason point, we're at a 5-1 record, leading the division. It's definitely the best start that we had to the season and all the seasons of the rebuild so far. Players available to re-sign. Patrick Surtain is up with a 25-year-old 89 overall superstar. He wants 4 years, 60 mil, so we'll probably just go ahead and throw him 5 years, 77 mil. He likes the bonus and duration. All right, but he wants the salary to be bigger. Cortland Sutton, 29 years old, 88 overall, 3 years, 42 mil. Why not? He likes the length of the contract, but the rest of the offer needs work. Blah, blah. Jadeveon Clowney starting to come down. Russell Wilson. I think the cap space on this is broken because it says that I have $144 million available in salary cap, but after I got done re-signing all the players during the offseason, I only had like 20 million left, or maybe 15 million, I don't remember, but it definitely wasn't $144 million, so something's definitely not right with that. This game is glitching out so much. But anyways, we finished the season 9-8, and that is terrible. How did we do that after we started 5-1? Did not make the playoffs yet again. So we had the number 16 ranked offense, number 24 ranked defense. So this is the worst team that we had. 17th in points scored and 19th in points allowed. Russell Wilson, 4,000 yards, 36 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. Javonte Williams had almost 1,200 yards and 7 touchdowns, 4.5 per carry. In yards, Cortland Sutton had 1,100 yards, 8 touchdowns. Jerry Jeudy almost 1,000 with 11 touchdowns. Noah Fant had 11 touchdowns, 550 yards. Defense, Rashawn Evans had 118 tackles. Jamin Davis had 106. TFL's Grover Stewart had 15. Jadeveon Clowney 13. Jamin Davis 11. Sacks, Cameron Jordan led the team with 9.5. Jadeveon Clowney had 8.5. Von Miller had 7. Interceptions, couple guys with 2 and a few with 1. And once again, the Cowboys made it to another Super Bowl in simulation here. It was between the Cowboys and the Washington football team, and then the Bengals and the Raiders over here. So this is crazy. The Bengals ended up winning the Super Bowl, so they got their first ever Super Bowl in franchise history. Joe Burrow was MVP. Deshaun Watson won MVP with the Texans, and he won Offensive Player of the Year. Raiders head coach won Coach of the Year. Myles Garrett won Defensive Player of the Year. So that's going to be it for this rebuild of the Denver Broncos and Russell Wilson. I could do another season, but I don't want this video to be too long. And Russell Wilson is 37 years old, and he's down to an 81 overall. And I can't believe how we didn't make the playoffs any of these years that we did this rebuild. And this game has been glitching out a lot, so I don't know if that has anything to do with this rebuild not doing too good. But hopefully y'all liked the video. If y'all did, then hit the like button, subscribe if you feel like it. Say something in the comments, ask a question, give me any type of opinions you have or any type of suggestions you have for these videos, and I appreciate y'all watching.